I am super excited for this video. Today we are going to dig into Hot Rod Power Tour West 2024. We're going to talk about what venues we're looking at. We're going to talk about what the official route looks like. We're going to talk about where you can easily get gas, convenience, food, things like that on the routes. And we're going to talk about what's going to be available at each venue. So let's dig into it. Now, Power Tour West is an event that I really enjoy. I was fortunate to be able to participate in the last Power Tour West 2023, which I understand to have been the first event in over 23 years on the West Coast. I really enjoy that Power Tour West is a fairly laid-back event. It is not extremely competitive. You have real hot rodders with real cars that are a wide range of budgets, wide range of style, and they're out enjoying their cars, enjoying bench racing, enjoying talking to other hot rodders, and just enjoying what the industry and the community really have to offer. I believe the long hauler ticket price is something like $275, and to me, for access to what is advertised as, and probably truly is, the largest rolling car show or the largest road trip in the world, West Coast edition, I think it's probably a pretty fair deal. I will be taking my 1988 Chevy Caprice. It's LS swapped 5.3 with a cam, 4L80E, nothing crazy, and I won't be being competitive. I'm just looking forward to enjoying cruising with some friends of mine who will also be going, enjoying the road trip, seeing a little bit more of the Southwest than I have been able to see before, and just having a great time doing car stuff. That's really what it's about. So let's dive into what these venues are. Day one is at the In-N-Out Burger Pomona Drag Strip, which is kind of between the LA area and the Riverside or San Bernardino area. Day two is at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego. That's where I live, is San Diego, so I'm very familiar with that and the area around it. The Riverside County Fairgrounds is day three, and that is in Indio, California, which is very close to Coachella, if you've been to any music festivals or anything like that out there. Day number four is Lake Havasu State Park in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and day five is at Radford Racing School in Chandler, Arizona, which is kind of on the south end of Phoenix. It's attached to Phoenix. This is a lot of driving, so we're going to look at each of these venues. Day one at In-N-Out Burger Pomona Drag Strip is going to have drag racing. I'm sure that there will be some other stuff set up, but that's what they're going to have for us. Day two at Snapdragon Stadium, probably going to be mostly a car show. I would be very surprised if Hot Rod doesn't have some personality meet and greets, a chassis dyno, some things like that available to us. But San Diego is beautiful, so even if you choose not to spend the entire day at the venue, there's a lot to see in San Diego. Beaches, Old Town, East County, you could go on a little cruise, all kinds of stuff. Day three, Riverside County Fairgrounds is supposed to have autocross. I'm sure there'll be some other stuff there as well. Day four, Lake Havasu State Park, looks like it's probably mostly another car show, but on Lake Havasu, looks like it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot to do. Day five at Radford Racing School in Chandler, there is going to be autocross. This is a fairly large facility. It's my understanding that this is where Dodge does most of their like Mopar race testing stuff. So I'm really excited to see what this facility has to offer. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to spend really tearing into what the routes between these venues looks like. The first day, obviously, you're kind of on your own to get to the Pomona area. People will be coming from all over the country. I would suggest that before you book a hotel, if you haven't done so already, do a ton of research on the area that you're going to book the hotel in. I actually think the area immediately around the drag strip and Fairplex complex that the drag strip's attached to seems fairly nice. I've been there before, but there are parts of the greater LA area and Riverside areas that are really, really nice, very safe, and there are also parts that are honestly pretty sketchy. So do your research, do your homework. I'm not well versed enough in that area to give you a solid recommendation. Day two is going to be a little bit more exciting, and for each day where there is an official route between venues, I have created a little cheat sheet with some basic directions and the places that I recommend that you stop for food. Tearing into Tuesday, day two, the official directions have you get on the 10 East from very close to the first venue and take that to the 15 South. Now, if you have not yet fueled up after the first day and you happen to be starting close to the venue, I would suggest that the Costco Wholesale at the Central Avenue exit is right off the freeway and is probably the best possible spot to get gas if you're coming from anywhere super close to the venue. Following the 15 South, you get on the 15 South and you follow the 15 South for almost 16 miles. That takes you through several towns, Corona, eventually getting you into Temecula and Murrieta. I would recommend that your first stop, probably about an hour in, be Marietta if you need fuel, or if you're hungry, haven't had breakfast yet. There's a Jack in the Box, there's a Chick-fil-A, there's an Arco, there's a Target, and I remember there are a few other food places close to this exit. And it's very easy to get off and back on the freeway right here. And that's right about 55 miles into the drive. Okay. Continuing on the 15 until you reach Paula Mesa, you'll exit the 15 and get on 76 West. 76 takes you more back roads, or if not back roads, it's a much smaller highway, a little bit more scenic, and you'll take that all the way to the 5 South, Interstate 5 South. I would recommend that if you need fuel, you stop here at Canyon Drive. There's an Arco right there, very convenient. There's a McDonald's, there's a KFC, there's a Jack in the Box and a Starbucks. There's a bunch of stuff right here off of Canyon Drive, and you can actually skip this little corner of the route and get right on the 5 here. Adds almost nothing to the trip. And I put the instructions for this stop, which is about 95 miles into the drive south on the street, as well as the instructions for the first stop. From there, you follow 5 South all the way along the beach. Some of this will be scenic. For some of it, you won't really be able to see the water, but most of it's rather pretty. And you'll follow that all the way to the 805 South. The 5 branches off to the 805 South, and the 805 kind of avoids downtown San Diego. And from the 805 South, you jump on 52 East to 15 South again, and that takes you very close to the venue at Snapdragon Stadium. Moving into the second day of the venue, obviously you'll need to fuel before leaving. I do not recommend that you fuel real close to the venue in Mission Valley. There is a Costco in Mission Valley, and its parking lot and gas station arrangement is pretty atrocious, to be honest. It'll be a good price, but it's pretty atrocious. If you have the fuel, I would recommend you follow the instructions and get on the 15 North and take that up to Scripps Poway Parkway, which takes you over to the little community of Poway. A lot of industrial stuff up here, but there is a Costco here, and that'll be one of the best prices on gas in town. And it'll be one of the best prices in gas, and it's a very easy entrance right along the official route. From there, the official route continues along Scripps Poway Parkway till it reaches the State Road 67 North, which then turns and takes us into the town of Ramona. Now, there's lots of gas stations in Ramona, but they won't be cheap because it's kind of mountain elevation town, 30-40 minutes from anything, 30 or 40 minutes from the rest of town. So everything is a little on the pricey side. There are some excellent restaurants, and those aren't all pricey, but the route continues. The 67 becomes the 78, and that takes us into Santa Isabel, which is very small. There's an awesome bakery, Dudley's Famous Bakery and Cafe. There's the Julian Pie Company outlet right here, and a couple other things. I would recommend this be a stop for fuel if you think you're going to need it. Ramco Petroleum, because it's a little while till there's another really good stop for fuel. And then you head north on the 79, which winds through Warner Springs, Anza, Santa Rosa, and this is the second stop that I recommend, is the Santa Rosa pit stop. Also right along the official route, very easy. There's fuel, there will be convenience and bathrooms, everything like that there. And then that route takes us into Palm Desert and Indio. And you can see we've kind of got Coachella and Palm Springs here as maybe 2 reference points that some of you from Southern California or from Arizona might be familiar with. And that takes us to the Riverside County Fairgrounds, where we have been promised autocross and probably just an awesome time. So moving into day 4, leaving the Riverside County Fairgrounds, the route from Indio takes us to the 10 East. I would probably recommend this Love's Travel stop as the most convenient place to get gas and or snacks on your way out of town. There are other gas stations kind of sprinkled throughout, but that seemed like an easy stop to me. And then the route continues, and very early in the route, only 30-ish miles in, there's a chevron here. And the reason that I've highlighted this chevron is because it's the last stop for fuel for something like 80 miles. After this chevron, you continue on the 10 to this Eagle Mountain Road to Ragsdale Road, and take that to the 177 North. I'm not sure why it doesn't have us exit the freeway here at the 177. This is the official route, which I'm not sure how doctored that is from what Google Maps defaults, but the 177, which is also called Rice Road, takes us all the way up here to the 62, and the 62 takes us to Vidal, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, where there is another chevron. And I would definitely recommend that you stop here and refuel, because we are now about 115 miles since Love's. The 62 takes us to the 95 in Parker, and in Parker there's a Walmart and a McDonald's and a Safeway and this Running Man fuel station, which is another spot that you could refuel. From Parker, the 95 takes us all the way up to Lake Havasu at Lake Havasu State Park. I'm unclear. This is where the official directions end, but based on everything I can tell, it looks like we're probably going to be right here at Lake Havasu State Park or Windsor Beach, which is what they advertised early in their advertising, was Windsor Beach. Moving into the last day of the event, leaving Lake Havasu, there is a Texaco station and an Arco station at this intersection that I would recommend is probably the most convenient place to get fuel if you are starting from somewhere close to the venue in Lake Havasu. And then we kind of backtrack down 95 into Parker, where the Running Man fuel station is an obvious and easy stop. Walmart, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Safeway, everything we had the previous day. And then we continue on the 95. We make a turn and continue on the 95 south. And this runs us for quite a ways to the 72. We continue along the 72 to Hope, where we get on the 60 and continue east into Siloam, where there is a mobile station that I've marked as the most likely place for us to be able to get fuel easily. Continuing on the 60, there is a Shell in Wickenburg. Wickenburg has several food options, a McDonald's. It looks like most of the other stuff in Wickenburg is like taco shops and mom and pop kind of restaurants. And then we continue on the 60 all the way to the 303 loop around the greater Phoenix area. Heading south on the 303 loop, I have recommended that we take the Waddell Road exit and stop at Costco again for gas. I know that's a little bit of a theme. And you'll see that there's a Dutch Bros, there's a Walmart, and a few other things just kind of around this exit that would make it fairly easy to find food. There is also, and Google doesn't have pictures of it yet, but I was able to confirm it's open. There's a Circle K and a couple other things here where they've developed this since Google took these satellite photos or acquired these satellite photos. And then we continue on the 303 until we again catch the 10 East and take the 10 East to the 202 loop, 202 South, which takes us to the 10 East again, kind of, but cuts off a lot of distance. And from the 10 East, we get off at this Wild Horse Pass or West Sundust Road and take that right to the Radford Racing School. I hope this has given you a little bit of an overview. If you wanted details on anything else, let me know. I'm going to put a link to all these cheat sheets that I have in the description. I hope that this helped you. Thanks for watching.